on. The biggest sticking point in the longest U.S. government shutdown has been Democrats demanding that Republicans negotiate to extend health care subsidies that are about to expire. But last night, 8 Senate Democrats threw in the towel by siding with the GOP to advance a vote that could lead to the government reopening. And they tried to explain themselves to their unhappy colleagues. Take a look.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement. But waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome.
This agreement tonight is a win for the American people. There was zero chance of dealing with the ACA issue as long as the shutdown continued. Now, I don't know, 50-50, but there's a lot better chance now than there was this morning.
This was a very, very bad vote. And what the election showed is that the American people want us to stand up to Trumpism, to his war against working class people, to his authoritarianism. That is what the American people wanted, but tonight, that is not what happened.
So, I mean, you know, a 50-50 chance of negotiating health care subsidies. I just remember all of the people who are coming in and hoping that people would vote them in and say, yes, you can be this person, or you can be a judge, or you can be this. And they all said, no, we're not going to mess with anything. No, we're going to leave everything as it was. I have no faith that they're going to negotiate and come back to the table. And you know, I'm glad that folks maybe, because again, we have seen, you say this is going to happen, and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
So surprise me and show me that this is really, that people are going to get their money, that people are going to get the money that they are entitled to. It's not a gift.
Right.
They're entitled to this money during when there's a shutdown. You're entitled to that money.
Yeah.
So
There's
this
a
idea
contingency fund for
that they're giving in and giving this as a gift, it's not a gift. No. You know, I don't understand. So is he right that Americans wanted Democrats to keep fighting? You know, this would, and you know, people will get rehired, supposedly, federal workers, and reinstate SNAP benefits, but a 50-50 chance of extending the subsidies, I don't believe it.
So I've been saying from the outset, I don't think anyone wins in a government shutdown, and I welcome this deal. And let me tell you why. So the fight over extending the Obamacare subsidies is about addressing 22 million Americans who are going to see their healthcare premiums skyrocket. I believe that's important. I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm with Mike Lawler and a number of Republicans who believe we have to extend those for at least a year. However, in the interim, while the government remains shut down, 42 million people are losing SNAP benefits ahead of the holidays. So to me, we've got to hold out for those 22 million whose premiums are going to go up, but deny these people SNAP benefits in the meantime. That math doesn't math for me. I think adults need to get to the table and need to be willing to negotiate. And here's the other factor that wasn't mentioned here. Donald Trump has been pushing Leader Thune to nuke the filibuster, which would allow Republicans to reopen the government without needing a single Democratic vote to do so. Leader Thune didn't do that. He actually worked with a number of Democrats to come to this conclusion, which does get Dems some win, reversing those layoffs, as you mentioned, extending SNAP and WIC benefits through the end of 2026, also ensuring that the military and Veterans Affairs get paid, and guaranteeing this vote on Obamacare subsidies, which we'll see. But that is a much better deal than what could have happened if it was not reopened. And finally, Democrats are going to look like losers if they're just attacking each other in this. For some reason, Marjorie Taylor Greene was better at messaging the stakes of this shutdown, it feels like, than a lot of Democrats were. You have to give people the benefits they are entitled to under SNAP. You have to address the underlying issues of the crisis of healthcare in this country, but get government back working. No one can get anywhere. Flights aren't flying. The holidays are coming.
Yeah.
This is a welcome decision in my mind.
Okay.
Look, let's be clear. The Republicans run the House. The Republicans run the Senate. The Republicans run the White House. The Republicans run the Supreme Court, as far as I'm concerned. This was a choice by Republicans to cut SNAP benefits. This was a choice by Republicans to cut ACA subsidies. This was a choice by the Republicans to gut the federal government and federal employment. Democrats had nothing to do with it. I want an opposition party. I think the Democrats caved. I think the Democrats let down the American people. And like you, Whoopi, I have absolutely no faith that the Republican Party will come to the negotiating table in good faith. you do something like this, shame on you the first time. You do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, shame on me. Shame on the Democrats for even believing that the Republicans will, even vote on it. There's no guarantee in this New Deal that there's going to be a vote. There's no even commitment to have a vote. So the bottom line is the Democrats went into this after a blue wave out of the American people saying, we do want the opposition. The working people want the Democratic Party to fight for them. And now they just caved and surrendered. I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced.
I completely disagree with you, Sonny, for this reason, what you rattled off. The Republicans run the executive branch, the legislative, the judicial, according to you. They have all the power right now. The problem here is it's a privilege to say our food's not affected, our health insured,
there are people in my family that receive SNAP benefits.
I'm not just saying, I'm not meaning family. We're all affected by, as we go out. But I'm saying right here to say it's a privilege that they don't have health care and now they don't have food. The people are struggling so much. Our food banks all week in our towns were at the food banks. We were delivering nonstop and we kept getting notifications. They're empty again. They're empty again. Opposition, people can vote in a blue wave and say, but opposition, when you have no power, is not helping us at all. They need food on the table. We need our flights back up in the air. The holidays are coming. People can't afford Christmas.
Then the Republican Party should have done it.
Yeah, but guess what? By doing this now, you open the government, we get our Arizona special elect. Thank you. We get our vote on the Epstein stuff. And yes, thank you. I don't say her name right. Say it again.
Adelita Grijalva.
She will be sworn in because there are no more excuses.
And the Epstein files still won't get released.
But they'll have to take a public vote and go on record for not doing it.
They don't care.
Sonny, I'm just saying that's, I care. But what you're saying about if they don't come through, fine. I don't have a lot of faith in them, but call them on their bluff. Let the American public know the Democrats did their best, and now they're saying enough is enough. People need food, they need health care. Anything that happens here that was promised and isn't delivered, completely on the Republicans.
Well, let me tell you, I'm one of those people who got caught in airport hell yesterday, but I don't even feel like I have a right to complain because I was going through TSA and there are people there who haven't gotten paychecks. And I could hear them say, because I was going through Miami International the afternoon, and they were talking about, oh my God, they're voting. They're voting again. Our TSA workers, at the same time that they have the stress and responsibility of keeping us safe in the skies, are also having to be pending to CNN and whatever, vote results there are in Congress. That is ridiculous, and it is shameful. And I'll tell you what else is shameful. And I lay this on Donald Trump, because the one that has the biggest bully pulpit here is Donald Trump. He is the president of the United States, much to my chagrin, but that means he has the responsibility to lead, to convene Republicans and Democrats, sit them around a table and have them craft a deal. But you know what Donald Trump was doing this weekend? Same thing he was doing last weekend. He was at Mar-a-Lago at a fancy party. Last weekend, there was the Great Gatsby theme. This weekend, he was hosting another fancy party with towers of seafood and champagne. The president of Argentina was at the fancy party this weekend, dancing happily. You know why? Because Donald Trump bailed him out with $40 billion of your U.S. taxpayer money while he refuses to fund SNAP benefits. And you know what we are doing with this deal? We are changing one group of suffering Americans, the federal workers and the SNAP benefits, for another one. Because people have no idea how much they're going to need to pay for health insurance. The premiums have already gone out, and they are up 100, 200, almost 300% in some cases. If people lose insurance, if people drop out of insurance, not only will it be the death of Obamacare, it will be the death of Americans, because people will not go get screenings, people will get diagnosed with later stages of cancer, and this will cost lives. And we must demand better, starting with Donald Trump.
But we won't get better with Donald Trump. We're not going to get better, because with Donald Trump, the cruelty is the point. He does not care. This is a Republican choice. The last thing that I'll say about the federal workers, there's a 2019 law that requires the federal government to pay federal workers.
You must. It's the law.
It's the law. So the fact that the Democrats traded in their vote to get federal workers working again is ludicrous. Let the courts do their job. Go
No, it's
through
to
the
get
courts
SNAP
and
benefits out. People
let the
can't
courts
eat.
do
People
their
can't
job.
afford the holidays. it's the right
part,
thing. People
I
shouldn't be
will tell
starving
you,
in America.
No, nobody should. Listen, this is
The
a bitch
Republicans
we've
shouldn't let
had
them starve.
forever about people starving in America. This is the richest country in the world, and we are. Somebody had the nerve to write, "We're out of money." We're not out of money.
We're not out of
Well,
money.
they
There's a
didn't run out
contingency
of
fund.
money. There's money there.
We sent
But the-
$40 billion
Yes.
to Argentina
Listen,
and gave tax
who are you
breaks to the
telling?
ultra-rich.
I told y'all this was
Right.
crazy. I
Yeah.
told you it was insane. You know, and while I'm watching the fact that people are starving in Africa, starving. That Darfur, there is
they're
a
being
genocide.
massacred.
People are being massacred, and these clowns have not mentioned it once. They have said, we're not sending out any money. We're America first, and yet we bailed out Argentina. We're messing with Viktor Orban. What the hell is going on in this country? What the hell is going on?
Donald
John
Trump
Fetterman-
is
Wait.
Nero playing the fiddle while
Yeah.
America burns.
Well, America's not going to burn. America's hot, but she's not going to burn. Because you know why she's not going to burn? Because everybody in this audience, everybody at this table is doing something to help somebody else. This is what we are doing as Americans. People are going out, they are bringing food from their own kitchens and bringing it to neighbors. That's what we do, and that's what we're going to keep doing until these idiots figure out what the hell they're doing. And you know, I'm getting to the age where it's just coming out and I don't care. I just don't care anymore because it doesn't make any. This is America. This is America.
Girl, I got to that age
It's-
around 15 years
No,
of age.
you haven't gotten here yet. You haven't gotten here yet. Trust me. Because when you get here, no one will be able to shut you up. Nobody.